Rochelle here, and I'm back to share some yarn goodness with you all today. So let's talk about crocheting and knitting at the beach. Last week, me and the yarn husband went to Atlantic Beach. Now this is a very popular beach here in North Carolina. Alright, so let's go ahead and just jump right into the first tip. The first tip is bring a tent or a large umbrella for shade. There is no need to have a heat stroke while crafting on the beach. I bought this tent from Amazon, but make sure that the beach allows tents or umbrellas. For example, at Myrtle Beach, certain tents and umbrellas are not even allowed. So definitely check that out before you leave. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into number 2. Bring a spray bottle with water to clean your hands due to sweat and sunscreen. You can use bottled water or you can bring a spray bottle like me. Seawater tends to be quite salty, so I do not recommend cleaning your hands with salt water or with the beach water. It's not great. So this is the bottle that I use, and I just simply filled this with tap water before leaving. Alright, tip number 3. Bring a small project with simple repeats. Of course, this depends on the situation and depends on the beach. You may be by yourself or with a group. The beach could be crowded or it may be a very isolated beach. Sometimes there's just a lot going on at the beach and you certainly don't want to mess up your stitch count. If you're anything like me, we're looking around, we put our project down, we pick it back up, and you're like, what stitch was I on? So while at the beach, I worked with these small projects. So this is just a simple knitted cowl. And this was a simple crochet cowl. And this was a simple knitted cowl. And I talk more about these projects in another video, which I will link below or either just put on the end screen. Now, I didn't finish these projects at the beach, but I did make a dent. Also, if you bring a large project like a blanket, you're probably going to overheat. And it's not really that portable. So just something to think about. But like I said, it depends on your situation. All right. So let's go ahead and go to tip number 4. Pack a project bag or pack a plastic waterproof bag, such as a Ziploc bag, to protect your projects from the sand and splashing water. So yeah, definitely bring some bags with you. Tip number 5, bring a book or download an audiobook. I'm listening to Deaf Utopia by Niall DeMarco. I have an audiobook link below if you're interested. Okay, so in addition to grabbing your favorite book, let's go on to tip number 6. Don't overpack or bring too many projects. I know this is so tempting, but I bought 4 projects to work on, and I only worked on 2 of them. Also, make sure that you pack everything you need for each project. The last thing you want to do is get to the beach and realize that you've left your stitch markers or the knitting needle that you needed or the crochet hook that you needed. You do not want that to happen to you, because if you're anything like me, once you get settled to the beach, you're really not trying to leave to go get any supplies. Tip number 7, choose a project that is machine washable or at least be prepared to hand wash your project when you get home. I was on a very, very windy beach, so the sand was everywhere. So I definitely recommend bringing a project that is cotton or superwash because they are machine washable. However, I must admit that one of my projects was made out of non-superwash wool. It's just tempting sometimes. All right, so moving on to tip number 8. Wind your yarn before going to the beach. Now I know this tip seems totally obvious, but you don't want to be winding a hank or skein by hand at the beach. You don't want to do that, okay? Now, let's go ahead and move to tip number 9. Bring a printed and a digital copy of your pattern. That way, in case your device dies, you have a printed copy. But you should also have a digital copy in case your pattern gets wet, ripped, blows away, gets swept in the currents. Now, I had a printed copy and I had a backup copy downloaded onto my phone. I do suggest that if you do bring a printed copy, put it inside of a plastic sheet protector, and that's going to protect it from a lot of different things, a lot of different elements that we have at the beach. All right, moving right along, let's go to tip number 10. In addition to a project bag, you may want to bring a small pouch or containers for notions. And you can use that to hold stitch markers, yarn needles, scissors, things like that. And you can just toss this bag into your larger project bag. So, moving on to tip number 11. Speaking of scissors, bring scissors with a short blade because y'all, we do not want to take a trip to the ER. Okay, we don't want to do that. All right. So I use these foldable scissors by Fiskars, and these are great to have because the blades fold. So if I'm rummaging through my project bag, there's no chance of me cutting myself. Once again, we are really trying not to go to the ER. Okay. Tip number 12. Enjoy yourself. Have fun. I had so much fun crocheting and knitting on the beach. We got in the water for a little bit. We people watched. I fell asleep in the tent. It was amazing. So, what are your tips for crafting at the beach? Let me know in the comments. I definitely look forward to reading them. Maybe there's some that I missed and you can share in the comment section below. All right, so I have links in the description box to all my favorite crochet and knitting tools. Also, check out my YouTube community tab. I ask a lot of fun questions over there. And if you want to support my channel, I will leave the links below. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click that notification bell. You can also find me on social media as QueensYarnBoutique. And to continue watching, you can simply click on the next screen for more videos. So, until next time, bye!